Well, hey there, my name is Anthony DeRossi. I'm one of the pastors at Keystone Bible Church in the Tampa Bay area. And in the next few moments, I just want to offer you some encouragement in your walk with Jesus for the rest of this week. I've been doing some looking at some verses that emphasize or seem to emphasize the importance of just being in regular fellowship with other believers in the context of a local church. And I found a bunch of verses and reasons for that, but I'm only going to share two with you this morning or whenever you're watching this. So the first one's Colossians 3:16, which says this: "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom," and then singing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with thankfulness to your heart to God. I find it interesting that the Greek word there for admonishing, it actually means to counsel. Nutheteo, meaning I counsel. Counseling takes some familiarity. The image is kind of someone that these two people know each other, and they know each other well enough to sit down and actually counsel one another. Another thing to note that I love about this text is that the counseling is not happening from the elders at the church in Colossae, but from the members. Which means that if you're a member of a local church, you have a job to do. Every single Sunday morning, you should walk in with a goal to counsel and encourage other committed members of your church and their faith with Jesus. Another one I found was Hebrews 10:24 and 25, "And let us consider how to stir one another up to love and good works, not neglecting to meet as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another all the more as the day of Christ draws near." And I love those two verses in Hebrews 10 because it describes this mindset that all of us should have on the Sunday morning gathering. We don't just come to watch what happens on the stage. A lot of people kind of think that church is what happens up there. We come to the gathering considering and thinking about creative ways in which we can actually stir one another up to love and good works. And not only that, but we're actually called to encourage one another in light of Christ's second coming. And that word encourage, it's parakleto. It's the same root word that Jesus gives to the Holy Spirit. It literally means to be called to someone's side. It's the image of getting alongside next to someone and hearing from them so that you can bear their burdens as a means of strengthening their faith in Jesus. I found a pretty amazing illustration about just koinonia or community or fellowship in a book by C.S. Lewis called The Four Loves. C.S. Lewis was a part of a famous circle of friends called the Inklings, which included J.R. Tolkien, as well. He was the author of The Lord of the Rings, and also Charles Williams. Charles Williams, he died unexpectedly, suddenly after World War II. And so in response to Charles Williams' death, Lewis wrote this profound meditation on the effect and importance of community. He said something like this. He said, "In each of my friends, there's something that only another friend can fully bring out." Essentially he was saying, I'm not big enough by myself to shine the light on all the facets of Tolkien. And so he says, now that Charles Williams is dead, I'm actually never going to see Ronald Tolkien, his reaction to a specifically Charles joke. And so Lewis concludes by saying that far from having more of Ronald Tolkien to himself now that Charles is gone, Lewis realizes that he actually has less of Ronald Tolkien to enjoy. And so what Lewis is saying is that it takes a community to know an individual. If he wanted to know J.R. Tolkien more, he needed Charles. And now that Charles is gone, it's almost like a part of Tolkien is gone as well. And so his point there is that if this is true on a human level, how much more do we need each other to know Jesus more intimately? You need to see how your brothers and sisters interact with, experience, and walk with Jesus. You are not big enough to illuminate all the facets of Christ so that you can see the fullness of his beauty and see him the most clear. You need others beside yourselves. I'm sorry, fact. Existing in community actually helps you to know Jesus better. And so the encouragement is for you this week. Will you make your church community a priority? Will you not walk alone in the Christian life? Will you join a Bible study? Will you join a small group? Will you prioritize this Sunday to make it to church so that you can know Jesus better and so that you can help others know him better as well? We need community, don't we? Well, thanks so much for taking a few minutes with us. If you would like to make sure that you never miss encouragement in the middle of your week, We invite you to text MME to the number just below here on the screen, and we will make sure that you receive encouragement right to your phone every single Wednesday morning. Well, I hope you've been encouraged. I certainly have. Love these texts, love these passages, and we'll see you next week right here on Midweek Morning Encouragement.